Why is classroom management so important? Classroom management is essential for fostering a positive learning environment. Without classroom management, classes can become very hectic and chaotic and out of control, loud, and it's very overwhelming for not only the teacher, but for the students as well. Students won't be able to concentrate on their work. You'll run into behavior issues that you wouldn't normally have. So, classroom management is so important to start from the very beginning. So, you set a clear guidelines, expectations, and rules that your students are to follow. In this presentation, I'm going to explore my plan for how I will create a culture of respect through effective rules, rewards, and responsibilities. So, where does it begin? In my opinion, classroom management begins with setting expectations from your students and allowing the students to set expectations for the teacher. I'm a TA currently, and I watched the teacher I work with create a We Are a Family chart with her students. And I love that idea because she was involved in the discussion. She was letting the students know what she expected out of them, and they were letting her know what they expected out of her as a teacher. And I love that idea because it made the students feel important. It made them feel seen and heard. And just that, the classroom was a family and they wanted nothing more than to make everyone in the classroom feel appreciated and loved. And it was a really good little activity that I do want to incorporate in creating my classroom expectations in my future classroom. So, the expectations that I will set for my students are going to be number one, I want them to treat others the way they want to be treated. So the students will understand and agree to treat their classmates and teachers with kindness and respect. Number two, we listen to our friends and teachers. I want the students to understand the importance of listening, not only to show respect for our friends and show them that we want to hear what they have to say, but also so they know what's going on. Number three, we keep our hands, feet, and objects to ourselves. I would hold a discussion about personal space and why it's important to respect each other's space. Number four, we use our inside voices. And this is a really big one for me because as I'm learning, that is very hard for kindergartners to do. And when you have 20 kindergartners in a classroom in small groups and they're all using their big girl and big boy voices, it can get very chaotic very quickly. So I want students to be made aware that I expect them to use their inside voices when they are inside the classroom. When we're on the playgrounds, they can use their big voices all day long, but in the classroom, we need to use inside voices. Number five, we help clean up after ourselves. So everyone is made aware that they are responsible for cleaning up their own mess. Of course, a mess that they are capable of cleaning up by themselves, but I'm talking like snack time, transition, from snack to lunch or snack to recess, or just transition to a new subject, just cleaning up our area, keeping it clean, and just being responsible for cleaning up your own mess. So now that the expectations are clear and the students know what I expect from them, I would move on to creating the rules of the classroom. And the rules in the classroom I would want to create together as a class because I feel like the students would be held more accountable for actually following the rules if they were a part of creating them. So I would guide them into um, creating rules such as be a good friend. For example, if someone falls down, we help them up. If someone's sad, we try to cheer them up. Number two, using listening ears and talking mouths. So, for example, when we talk, we use our voices to be heard, but when someone else is talking, we listen. And with this one, I would incorporate always raise your hand to speak in the classroom, unless we're in small groups or something of that nature. But just letting the students know they have to raise their hand to speak. Number 3 is keeping the classroom safe and clean. So this goes into the expectations as well. We pick up our toys, our things, and we walk carefully around the room. So no running, just being safe. Number 4, be honest and tell the truth. If we make a mistake, it's okay. We can help each other. Number 5, follow classroom routine. So, for example, we know what to do when it's time for circle time or snack time or playtime, and we can help each other remember those things. So, the 2 policies I would have for my classroom would consist of bathroom breaks and food and drink. So, I'm speaking on a kindergarten class because that's the current grade that I'm in. My policies would probably be a little different with upper grades, but we have a bathroom inside of our classroom. So it's very easy for a kindergartner to just raise their hand and want to go to the bathroom. And even though it's convenient and it's there, bathroom breaks are contagious. So if you have one student that raised their hand to go to the bathroom, next thing you know, you have 5 and they're in the line waiting to go to the bathroom. You're trying to teach and it just starts getting chaotic. So I would have designated times for bathroom breaks and the students would know this is the time that they can go to the bathroom. It could be before and after lunch, before and after recess, transitioning from math to ELA. It would be a set time where they know, okay, now I can use the restroom. But after that window has passed, they're going to have to wait until the next designated time to get up and go to the bathroom. I feel like it just makes the up and down, you know, it just stops the craziness of the up and down and kids just constantly walking around in the classroom. With food and drink, that's another designated time I would set. So we know during snack time we can eat, during lunch we can eat. If I give out treats for good behavior, of course they could eat then, but it's not going to be, they can't get up and just go to their cubby and get a snack or just get up and go to their cubby and get water. I don't think it's a good idea to have water bottles on the desk because it can be a distraction for kindergartners. In upper grades, I would probably allow that, but not in kindergarten. Kindergarten, the water bottles need to be up and in their book bags or in their cubbies, and there would be a designated time for them to get water. Again, with it being kindergarten, I would probably have more designated times than I would. Well, upper grades, I'd probably let them have their water bottles. So the 2 policies for my classroom management plan would be designated bathroom breaks and designated food and water breaks. Positive reinforcement. I think this is super, super important for classroom management because it's important for the children to follow the rules, but it's also very important to show them that you appreciate them following the rules and that you're proud of them and that they're doing a good job. And it also encourages other students to witness these students getting this special treatment and they want it too. So it's just all intertwined together to create classroom management. So in my school, we have Class Dojo. And Class Dojo allows teachers to give points to the students throughout the day for positive behavior. And parents can see the Class Dojo. They may get rewarded at home for good behavior. The class dojo is just a really good tool to give that positive reinforcement. So I plan on using the class dojo to not only show positive reinforcement for the parents to see, but I also want the students to be able to see the reward as well. So at the end of the day, whatever student got the most positive dojo points The next day, they would be considered the star of the class. And so the star of the class would get to wear a special badge, or like a badge, like a star, um, on their shirt throughout the day to show that they are the star student and they did a wonderful job at following the rules, meeting my expectations, and just being a good friend and classmate. The star of the day would also be able to choose the appropriate music they would like to play for class cleanup time. I would also have a treasure box in my class. It would be filled with like things from the dollar store, like little tattoos or bouncy balls or stickers or things of just little knickknack toys, um, where the students could choose from. And how they would win these treasures would be to fill up a kindness jar. And I would buy small jars, about the size of a salt and pepper shaker. And every time they do something kind for one of their classmates, if they share, if they're showing me that they're listening, they're being helpful to a classmate, I will add a kindness token in their jar. And when they fill up their jar, they would be able to pick a toy from the treasure box or kindness jar, or yeah, treasure box. The third positive reinforcement technique I would use would be a classroom job chart. So students could be assigned special jobs based on their behavior and how they contributed to the class for the week. So, for example, the teacher's helper can lead a class activity or assist with setting up, passing out the papers, things of that nature. I believe that the students really do take pride in responsibilities and they enjoy being recognized for doing good work. Lastly, are the consequences that I plan to implement for my classroom. The first consequence I plan to implement is the loss of a job. So each week I draw names from a bucket and we'll determine who's the line leader, who's the bathroom monitor, things of that nature. And if the student that misbehaves has a current job, that job is taken away from them. If the student that misbehaves happens to not have a job that week, then their name is removed from the bucket and they lose their chance to have a job the following week. Number two is moving seats. So if we're in small group and the student is chit-chatting with the neighbor, can't get quiet, then they would have to move to a different seat. If we're on the carpet and they can't keep their hands to themselves, not following the rules, then they have to go back to their desk. They're not allowed to sit with everyone at the carpet. Next, I would contact a parent, and if that still isn't working, I would go to administration.